The National Archives has created an outstanding educational website called Digital Vaults. This website highlights over 1,200 selected resources. Students can keep a running list of items they have seen, curate their own online collection, take a pathway challenge, search the collection, and create their own movies and posters. Personalize your teaching by encouraging students to explore and create by using these digital artifacts in ways that best match their learning styles. Now let's get started. Access the website at digitalvaults.org. Click Continue, and it will bring up your starter screen for the website. Notice at the bottom there are various tabs that we will explore later. The center section is devoted towards getting a starting point for browsing or searching. So it selects 8 starting tiles at random, and you can explore those, mouse over them, see what they are, and select one that you eventually want to either view the record detail or move to the center. Moving to the center brings related artifacts to the picture that you've seen, which in this case is the moon landing. As you bring up that center artifact, you'll notice that there are various tags related to it. So everything that is surrounding it has at least one of these tags. You can also use the filter to select the different types of media, the time frame, or how relevant you want it to be to the center picture. So as we click on this one, notice that you can select View Record Details. Viewing record details will show you the image in a little bit bigger size. Sometimes there's more than one image and you can zoom. You can also print. As you read about it, you can add it to your collection, which is down below. And in some cases, you can research it by going into the ARC, which is a website of the Archival Research Catalog, which gives you more information about that particular topic. As you look at this artifact, you can click on related artifacts to learn more about the topic. You can even move those to the center, which shuffles and brings other related topics. So the research can take a very interrelated type of approach. So as you explore, you can go off in different directions or explore a particular topic in greater depth. Pause the video at this point for just a little bit and explore the search functions, the browsing functions of the Digital Vaults website. As you're browsing, notice that you can clear the canvas by moving this search interface in or out as needed. Also notice that you can control the number of records that you see in this right-hand interface. By moving it up the slider bar, you can see less records. And by moving it back down, you can increase the number of records. So you can really adjust it to the amount of detail that you want for a particular artifact. Now let's look down below at the collect and backtrack functions. The backtrack function actually keeps a running record of everything that you look at as you're browsing. So you don't really have to try to save or remember where you've been as you're searching if there's something that you didn't realize at the moment that you needed, but later you did realize you wanted it. Use this backtrack feature to see where you have been in your browsing process. As you go along and you're purposefully looking for information and doing research, you can also click on this collect tray to open up this tray to add items that you want to keep, that you need for your research or that you'll use for other applications. You simply drag them into the tray and it saves them for you. You can, as you search, perhaps you bring some other artifact up and you're reading around. Maybe you find something else. You can continue to bring these artifacts right into the tray. As you click on the item in the tray, notice that you can move it back to the center. You can view the record detail, or if you realize you don't need it anymore, you can remove it. So take a little bit of time now to practice with the backtrack and collect features of the website. Stop the video for just a bit. Next, let's look at the Pathways option in the center of the bottom group of links. Select a Pathway Challenge is a series of clues that reveals a relationship between photographs, documents, and other records. I think your kids will find it really a fun activity to engage in. As you look at the pathways, you'll see that the Digital Vaults website has created some pathways already to explore, or you can create your own pathway. So first, let's look at one that is already created by the Digital Vaults. The game is starting, and I see a clue that says immigrants sitting outside of a building. So it is my task to look at the clue down here to see uh, which statue was donated by the French. As I look around at the different clues, I happen to know that's the Statue of Liberty, so I'm going to pick this record and find out that, yes, I'm correct, that that is the next linkage in it. So the game keeps going in that way. The next clue is posters in World War I encouraged people to buy war bonds, and this one focused on immigrants. So my next task would be to find the answer to that particular clue and work through the game. So that's one way to do it, but as students get used to that, they can actually go in and create their own challenge, which I think is even a higher level for doing this kind of work. So the first thing you do after you click Create the Challenge is title the challenge and say Next. And you simply start by dragging an object that you found and bringing it right over to the question mark. Select Next and choose a record that's connected to it. Obviously, I would take a little bit more time than this to do it thoughtfully, but let's drag that one. And there I would insert a clue to help the kids realize what is the relationship between object 1 and object 2, and continue on to build a chain of such objects and clues. So go ahead and pause the video at this point and explore one of these pathway challenges or create one of your own. Next, let's click on the Search tab at the bottom. And notice that this is a simple way to populate the tray with related items. I've typed in New York and go, and it will just fill the tray with related items to that search keyword, or you can select tags as well. Now let's go to the really fun part of the website that will allow you to create really personalized experiences for your students. There are two options for creating items. The first one is create a poster. The second one is create a movie. Let's look at create a poster, begin. And it'll bring up a search interface in which you can add backgrounds, clip art, text, and so on to your poster. So let's click Start Your Poster. And you can select records from your collection or from one of the populated search terms that is already there. Let's select records from my collection and bring up my collection tray. Let's say I would like for my poster to be about this Mexican War officer. I mouse over it and I say Add to Poster. And there it comes into the poster. From that point, I can resize it, I can move it around the poster and rotate it. If I want it to become transparent, I can as well. So you can have one image on a poster or quite a few. You can also select a background color or remove it if you need to. You can add clip art that they may suggest as related to it. Drag it up onto the poster. Notice again, you can manipulate the size, the rotation, the transparency, and so on. So the kids can get really creative with it. You could also add text, and you can select your font size, again, the size, the rotation, the transparency, and so on. So you can also remove if you needed to. And as you select it, as you select the font style, you can just type it in there. Move it around to wherever you would like it to be in the poster. Usually you'd put a lot more detail into it than that, but let's say we're done and finish and save. Title your poster. And as you entitle it, you can save it, email it, or print it. Please note that if you save or email it, you have to provide an email. Since we don't recommend that students use their own email, I think it's a good practice for the classroom teacher to have a classroom email that can be used that only the teacher has the password to as a way to work around that. And then everything can be emailed directly to the teacher's classroom account. Otherwise, printing is a good option where you don't even have to give any personal identifying information at all. So stop for a moment and go ahead and try to create your own digital poster. Now let's look at the Create tab again and explore how to create a movie. Clicking Begin. To start your movie, you can again select records from your collection or from among the topics that they've already provided. I'll say records in my collection. It'll bring up your tray, and you can click on an item that you would like to add to the movie and select simply Add to Movie. As it's added, notice that you can adjust the size of the item, the duration. By default, this one came in at 4 seconds. And you can select movements such as panning or zooming. You can even add a caption if you would like. As you can continue on, the movie grows and you can make similar adjustments. You can remove items that you don't want till the movie grows. You can select a background for the parts that will show through so that it has some color to it. You can also select a title screen, so you can grab it, pull it down into the tray, and add your title. Notice that you can change the size, the color, the text as well. And when you have it the way you'd like, you can drag it to the beginning of the movie, the end of the movie, or you can even create dividers within the movie to show that you're changing scenes and so on. Notice too that as you work on adding the background, another option is to add background audio. The website Digital Vaults gives you 4 selected audio that work really well, that seem to work with quite a few movies, so you can add that if you want to as an option. Continue to add scenes and so on. When you're finished, save and create, name your movie, and you have an option to save or email it. In each case, this does require email, and since we don't usually use student emails, you may want to, as a teacher, use a classroom email that only you access again and have them email it to you. Otherwise, you can simply play the movie on the screen and everybody can watch it at the time that it is created. So this has hopefully been a good overview for you of the National Archives Digital Vault experience. I hope that you'll have fun using it yourself and introduce it to your students. Thank you.